Okay. Hey everyone, it's Dee here, and I'm really excited to be welcoming Coach Abrar Naily to our team. Abrar is a registered dietitian. She's been working as an RD for 5 years. She's currently getting her NASM certification in personal training as well. And we're just so thrilled to have her on our team and helping our clients. So I'm going to let Abrar introduce herself, and then we'll get into some fun Q&A for you guys to get to know her better. So Abrar, why don't you
Guys.
introduce yourself? Yeah.
So like you said, I'm a registered dietitian. I live in Dallas, Texas right now. I know a lot of our clients live in Texas, and but I'm originally from Oklahoma. That's where I was born and raised. Went to school there. I graduated from OU with my master's in dietetics, and then I worked in a clinical setting, and I did coaching on and off for a while. And I realized I really enjoy coaching more than anything else. So that's why I decided to do it full time and get on the BBR team.
That's awesome. Yeah, and we're so thrilled to have you. Tell me more about that. What made you interested in like pursuing this as a career path? What was your journey with health and wellness?
Honestly, I've always been interested in nutrition. My mom was diagnosed with diabetes when I was pretty young, and she didn't speak English very well or read English. So I had to like always translate for her when we're at the doctor and any of her like medications and stuff, and kind of teach her about like carbs and how it affects her blood sugar. So it got me really interested in just how your lifestyle and your diet can affect, your life and disease complications and all of that. So I really got interested in it and just decided to go to school for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so inspiring to hear people's story and just how they got into this as a career path. Well, let's talk a little bit about your own fitness journey. Was there anything that you struggled with in your own wellness journey?
I was always like super small. I mean, I'm still a petite person. I'm 5'2", but like growing up my whole life, I was always really skinny and like small. So I just really wanted to get stronger. And it was hard being my size. Like I was always made fun of for being like the short one out of my friends, or like even in my class, I think I was the shortest one. So I was just always a small person. And when I started working out and, really trying to build muscle and get stronger, that helped me kind of become more confident. And just now I love the feeling of being strong and knowing that I can, get stronger.
Yeah, yeah, and I love all the gym inspiration that you post on your page. If you aren't following Abrar, drop what you're doing, pause this, and go follow her on Instagram at Daily Nutrition. She posts so much fun food inspo, gym inspo, like it's great.
Thank you.
Um, so with the gym, did you work with a trainer of yourself, or did you kind of like learn it yourself? How did you get into the gym? Because that can be really intimidating for many folks, myself included, back in the day.
Yeah, so actually my older brother, he was like crazy into like bodybuilding
Yeah.
back when he was like in high school and I was still young. So I would always see him. He went through a phase like where he would buy like every supplement on the market and just would um go to the gym all the time. And he was also like a small person. He's like 5'4" and super petite, but he got like really big just from working out and like taking care of his diet. So he took me to the gym the first few times and kind of showed me how to do workouts. But then after that, I kind of just took it from there. And honestly, I learned so much through Instagram. Like I would just watch videos and go to the gym and copy them and make sure like my form looked like their form. And it helped so much. So there's so much like free, good information on the internet now that a lot of people can benefit from.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you can learn so much on Instagram these days.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears. Let's talk about you as a coach. So tell me what's something that you really enjoy helping your clients with?
I really enjoy helping them with their relationship with food, because with today diet culture being like at an all-time high, so many people are struggling with what to eat, and they're scared of eating certain foods. And I've worked before at like an eating disorder clinic, so I've seen it firsthand, like how damaging it can be. And it's just so scary. So I never want to be like a dietitian or a coach that tells someone to cut out, their favorite foods in order to reach their goals, because that's not true. And we know that's not true. So I really like making sure to educate them on all the different foods that they're eating and how it benefits their body and how to still reach their goals while be using like sustainable methods without having to go too extreme, because a lot of people that work with like coaches, sometimes they're on a really low calorie diet, or like their personal trainer will just give them like a generic meal plan to follow, and it might be temporary, that they see some results, but then as soon as they're off of it, everything kind of goes back, and then it didn't really teach them anything. So I like to make sure that while we're working together, they're learning how to do this on their own. They're building these healthy habits. So that way, when we're finished working together, they can continue doing this forever, because they don't need to be working with a coach forever. So I want them to really benefit from our time together and be able to keep using those things, that I taught them afterwards.
I love that. I think that's so important. And obviously, that's one of the reasons I hired you, because that's what we emphasize at BBR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Transforming your body and changing it, but also having a good relationship with food in that process. Because so many programs out there just kind of do the opposite and make you kind of anxious about food and obsessed with food and just have a terrible relationship with food afterwards. And it's just not worth losing weight if you're constantly stressed about these things afterwards, right?
Right. And that can take years of undoing, so it's not worth it to kind of like damage your relationship with food for a temporary fix, but then you end up having to fix your relationship with food like for years down the line.
Yeah. So let's talk about that specifically when it comes to weight loss, right? I think there's definitely a camp on the internet that says anything related to intentional weight loss is like disordered eating. And I personally don't, align with that philosophy. I think that it's definitely possible to lose weight in a sustainable way without damaging your relationship with food. Like, what are some tangible ways you would help people actually do that and lose the weight while having a good relationship with food?
Yeah, so there's definitely a huge divide between like the anti-diet and then people who are pro weight loss. Honestly, I am just pro helping my clients reach their goals in a healthy way. So if somebody already has a damaged relationship with food, and we possibly know that they have an eating disorder, and then they come saying that they want to lose weight, I would kind of have a conversation with them about maybe, putting that on pause so that we can kind of fix first the underlying issue, your relationship with food, because that could possibly damage it even more than pursuing weight loss. So for the people that, have a good relationship with food and they want to lose weight, I work with them to see, what their current diet looks like, how we can make small modifications. So I don't want to make like huge drastic changes to where it's like really difficult for them. I still want them to enjoy their traditional foods, which is why I love BBR, because you can enjoy your dal, your biryani, whatever it is, and you just can maybe modify it a little bit so that the meal can be more balanced. You're making sure you're getting in enough fiber, enough protein. I like to talk to them about the benefits of getting in enough fiber and protein, and the importance of like not cutting out carbs, because a lot of people are scared to eat carbs, but carbs are our main source of fuel for our body. So they're still important and we need them, and we can eat them without gaining weight. So just kind of, going over everything and explaining to them why we actually should be eating these things, and then how they can reach their goal, whatever it is, while still enjoying foods that they like without cutting them out.
Totally. Yeah. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. And again, like those philosophies are exactly what we align with at BBR. And I think that it's just so important to remember that you don't have to give up all these things, and it's not sustainable, right?
Yeah.
It's just not. Would you rather lose 10 pounds and gain back 20 because it's not sustainable, or like lose 10 pounds and actually keep it off because you did it the healthy way, even if it takes a little bit longer?
Exactly. And I think most people just don't want to be patient, or they just want to see like the results right away. So when they're kind of in that mindset, they're not going to choose like the healthier route sometimes, which is unfortunate, but for sure in the end, that's always going to be the best route for them to take.
Yeah. And I get it, right? Like when we're feeling bad about our bodies, or we maybe gain weight or clothes don't fit, like in our mind, it's like, I just want that gone right now. I don't want to have to wait 6 months for this to be gone. Like, I just want to, I'll do whatever it takes, but we have to just take a step back and remember, like, you didn't gain all that weight in 1 month. You're not going to lose it in 1 month. It really has to come from a lifestyle change. And like, you have to remember, you really want to keep it off, not just
Yeah, for
gain.
sure.
Cool. So speaking of food and balancing food, what is one of your favorite healthy meals to make? I know you post tons of meal inspo on your page. I've learned so much from you. But what's one of your favorite healthy meals or some of your go-to meals?
So I'm not the cook. My husband's actually
Oh,
the
really?
cook
Okay.
and he loves to cook and stuff. I like to cook, just make like good, healthy, quick meals. I don't like spending like hours in the kitchen making things from scratch. I make things to where I know it's going to taste good and it's going to be quick and I can eat it. So we use rotisserie chicken a lot just because it's so easy. You get a lot of meat. And then we'll like take it off of the bones, and throughout the week we can throw it into sandwiches. We can throw it on a salad with pasta, whatever it is. So I
Yeah.
like to have like a source of protein that I can mix in with other things. And then I use a lot of frozen vegetables. Some people believe like frozen isn't as healthy, but that's just a myth. That's not true. Frozen is just as nutritious. So I use them a lot because it comes in handy, and it saves time, especially for, busy moms, working moms who don't have time to kind of cut and wash and prepare all the veggies. And then always just having like an easy carb source, whether it's like potatoes or I love white rice. And I'll never switch to brown rice. So I usually have like rice or something with it and just try to keep it balanced, making sure I have like my protein and my fiber, carbs and healthy fats.
Yeah, I love that. I'm a big rice person as well. My family is South Indian, which is very much like rice eaters, and
Uh-huh.
maybe it's a mindset thing, but if I don't have rice at dinner, I feel like unsatisfied. Like, like if I eat roti at dinner, I need like rice also to feel full.
Yeah, for sure. I grew up, my family ate rice with like every single meal. So
Yeah,
I'm so used to eating it. And
yeah,
there's no reason to cut it out. So
totally.
I still enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just kind of how we balance it, right? With some protein and
Hmm.
fiber to slower
For
digestion.
sure.
So speaking of kind of your family, what you ate growing up, like, so you're Syrian American. What are some of your favorite like Syrian dishes and how do you balance those?
Have you ever had grape leaves before?
Yeah, so good.
That's definitely one of my favorites. It takes a long time to make though, because you have to make the mixture of like the rice and the meat and spices and then roll up each leaf individually. And then after you have that all, you have to cook it for like a couple of hours. So it's like a half day event. So my mom, makes it like when I go back and visit. I've
Yeah.
made it like one time, but that's definitely one of my favorite dishes.
Yeah.
But it is mostly just like rice and there's a little bit of meat in there. So it's not the most balanced on its own. I'd have to eat like 20 of those just to get full. So usually for having that, I try to
Sorry.
include another source of protein. And my favorite is doing Greek yogurt and just adding some like cucumber and garlic and crushed mint to it. And then with like one serving of that, you can easily get 17 grams of protein right there.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a fresh like Mediterranean salad on the side.
Ooh. Greek yogurt's like the ultimate protein hack.
Yes, I plain Greek yogurt I don't love, but when I make it savory, it tastes so good.
Yeah, I don't like the 0% kind. It's too tart for me. But the
Oh,
2%,
really?
the 2% I can do. It just has. I need that little fat in the mouth feel for me.
Yeah. But it's such a great thing to just add on the
Yeah.
side or like into food because it's so easy and a lot of protein packed in like a small serving.
Okay, enough healthy food talk. What's your favorite indulgent food?
Mm, I do love pizza. I definitely love pizza. So whenever my husband like wants to grab pizza, sometimes we're like, no, like we should eat something else. But I'm like, no, let's get it. And I
Yeah.
usually just like plain cheese. So I don't like do any veggies or anything on it. Sometimes we'll do like turkey pepperoni on it, and that's pretty good too.
Yeah. Yum.
Yeah.
Um, cool. So what's something you wish all your clients knew when trying to lose weight or change their bodies?
So I wish they knew that they didn't have to give up their favorite foods. I wish they knew that they could still eat them and enjoy them. And honestly, like food, yes, it's used to fuel our bodies, but it also brings us happiness. And there's like so many occasions centered around food, and it brings families closer together. So like it's a bonding experience for a lot of people. So I wouldn't want anyone to have to view food in like a negative way and be scared of it and not want to eat it because they don't want to gain weight. I want them to know that food should be enjoyed. And if they're not enjoying it, then there's something wrong, we need to fix that.
Yeah.
So definitely letting them know they can have their favorite foods. Just like I said, making small modifications for them to also reach their goals, and that we see so much stuff with diet culture and like different people, some people who don't know what they're talking about posting online, and it can like, influence them to make certain decisions. So if I always tell people, if you're following anyone who is making you feel like bad about yourself or making you feel bad about like your food choices, definitely unfollow them and go follow somebody that's going to help you and educate you and make you feel good about what you're doing and teach you how to do reach your goals in a sustainable way, because we can get affected easily and very influenced by what we see all over social media.
Totally, yeah. I kind of think of it as an analogy to like get rich quick schemes. Like those are very obviously scammy, right? If somebody's coming to you and being like, hey, do you want to make $1,000 in 2 hours by doing nothing? You're like, this is a red flag. Like, just leave me alone. I don't like unfollow, right? But with wellness and weight loss, it's like we're more inclined to believe them, right? And like listen. And I don't know why. So I think just viewing those people as kind of like financial scammers, and in my mind has helped me not get sucked in.
Yeah. And also I want them to know that somebody's body isn't their qualifications. So just because somebody has like abs and they're telling you, oh, well, follow this diet to get shredded, that doesn't mean that you should be doing that too. And it doesn't mean that what they're doing is healthy. So
totally,
yeah. So definitely like look for someone who has a certification or something, and they know what they're talking about. And if they're ever like telling you you shouldn't be doing this, or don't ever eat this, that's a major red flag.
Which I think, like, back to what we've been saying, I think a lot of people, when we're wanting to lose weight or wanting to change our bodies, we're looking for that, like, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, because it gives us that sense of like safety and clarity. And like some structure is important, right? This is how much you should be eating, this much protein, but like that intense black and white thinking of like good, bad, don't do this, do that. Like that's not right and not sustainable.
Right. Because if they're just like following commands from like their coach or whatever, that's not really going to teach them anything for whenever they're not working with a coach afterwards.
Totally. Cool. So just one more quote unquote serious question before we go to some fun questions. How do you motivate yourself to work out on days you don't feel like it?
I talk about motivation a lot with my clients because some people like think that they're not motivated and that's why they can't work out, and they just don't feel as motivated as this other person who's always working out. So first I want to say, don't compare yourself to like anybody online, because for a lot of these people, that's their job and they need to be in the gym if they're personal trainers or recording content in the gym. So they have to be at the gym all the time. So it's okay. And it's actually better not to be in the gym every single day, right? We need to make sure we're taking rest days too. But I turned it into a habit, and I believe that's how you can motivate yourself to go. So because there's definitely days where I don't want to go to the gym, but right now it's part of my daily routine. So if I don't go when I'm supposed to go, something feels off. So a good book I just finished reading was called Atomic Habits, and it talks about how to build these, good habits that, stay. So I'm not always motivated to go to the gym whenever I do, but I just go because I've turned it into a habit, and now it's just part of my lifestyle. And then me and my husband have just like a calendar that we keep ourselves accountable with. So when we go to the gym, we'll put like a little sticker on it. And then after the month ends, we'll go back and see like, okay, how consistent were we this month, and what do we need to do to improve? And then we can also sometimes like reward ourselves with something, like a trash can or whatever, just because like that's what I wanted. I really wanted a new trash can. I was like, okay, well, if I go to the gym this many days this month, then I can get myself the trash can I've been wanting. But it can be anything.
I don't think anything epitomizes like adulthood more than that statement.
I know, yeah. I was like, the vacuum I got also like was super
Yeah.
exciting for me.
The new vacuum, the new trash can,
Yep.
the cool household appliances. We just got a new air fryer, so
Yeah, but I definitely think just don't we can't rely on motivation. It's not
yeah,
always going to be there. So try and turn it into a habit and
totally.
make it as easy as possible to be able to do it.
Yeah,
So like at the end of the workday, you know that you're tired and you're probably not going to go, then maybe try before, you go to work. Start small, maybe do like a 15 to 20-minute workout. And then once you're consistent with that, you can increase it a little bit. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, because a lot of people believe like, okay, well, if I go to the gym once a week, it's not going to do anything.
yeah,
But going to the gym once a week is better than not going to or working out, right?
yeah,
So it definitely doesn't have to be like 5 days working out, or I shouldn't even do it.
yeah, yeah, totally. I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Let's switch gears. Let's do a couple of rapid fire fun questions before we wrap up. So what's a fun fact most people don't know about you?
I have 6 siblings. Most people are usually shocked when I tell them. So I come from
Yeah.
a family of 7.
Okay.
So that was pretty fun growing up. But now we're like all spread out.
Where are you in the list?
So there's 2 younger than me. So I'm like third youngest.
Okay. And do they all live near you in Dallas or all over?
No, so I'm the only one in Dallas. 4 of them live in Oklahoma. And then I have a sister in New York and then another sister that lives in Jordan.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, cool. I definitely want to learn more about them. We got to schedule like a virtual coffee at some point.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Do you speak any other languages?
I speak Arabic.
Okay, cool.
And I know a couple of words in Urdu just because I grew up with like Pakistani and Indian friends, so they
Oh,
would teach us and we teach them. A lot
yeah,
of times it was cuss words, but I still learned some good
yeah,
phrases.
yeah. There's a lot of similarities. What's your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve, since we're talking about the gym, because this has been bothering me lately, is just when people leave their weights on the machines, and
Yeah,
especially when they leave like 6 45-pound plates, and I'm like, why would you do that? Now, by the time I remove all the plates, I'm like out of breath, and that's a workout for me.
that's so.
So that's been bothering me lately.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be, I think either I remember a fashion designer or a therapist.
Okay.
I don't, those are 2 very random things, but I remember one time we had like an activity in class to draw out what we wanted to be. And I was like drawing clothes and wanted to be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
And then, or I like drew a therapist office with like a person on the couch. I don't know.
Interesting. That's so fascinating. I haven't heard like little kids growing up and wanting to be a therapist.
I think it was because, have you ever watched Freaky Friday?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember? So the mom was a therapist
Oh,
and I thought her job was cool. And I like watched that movie so much when I was younger. So I
yeah.
think that kind of made me want to become one.
Got it. That's so interesting. Well, you're not a fashion designer, but I know you post like gym clothing hauls and like workout clothing inspo. So next question is actually, what's your favorite brand of workout clothes?
So as of right now, it's probably a tie between like Under Armour and Gymshark.
Okay.
I just recently placed like a big order for Black Friday on Gymshark, and some of the stuff came in, and I was really impressed with a couple of the tops. A couple of them I didn't really like, so I had to return.
Yeah.
But I like the fabric and the quality of their clothes. And Under Armour just has so many different things too. I really like the material of their clothes as well. So those are probably my 2 favorite right now.
Awesome. And the last question is favorite drink beverage of choice that's not water.
Definitely coffee. I have to have coffee every single day. And then I also have to have tea I usually have tea at night. So I have like either peppermint tea or something before I go to sleep, and then coffee every morning.
Cool. I'm a coffee person too. I'm drinking mine right now as we speak.
Oh, I have mine like pretty early in the day.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Abrar. So for those watching, you can work with Coach Abrar by clicking the link below, and definitely give her a follow on Instagram. Her handle will be here and as well as on our website. If you have any questions, send Abrar a DM, send me a DM. If you want to work with her specifically, when you apply for coaching, just select her as your preferred coach and we'll do our best to pair you guys based on her availability. Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up, Abrar?
No, just thank you for welcoming me to the BBR community. I already feel like very welcomed and I'm super excited to continue to get to know everyone and be a part of the community.
Yeah, your clients are so lucky to work with you. I know you've been working with some already. And I just can't wait for you to just help so many more women feel really good in their skin and their bodies. So thank you, and we'll talk to you guys later.